Hi, welcome to Wake TV. I'm your host, Alice Avery. As summer winds down, we've got a lot of stories to update you on. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to Wake TV. We're here at the Cary Community Library with Library Manager Liz Bartlett to talk about the groundbreaking and construction of the new Cary Regional Library. Liz, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about the history of the Cary Library, where we stand now.
Okay. The building we have right now has been here for about 40 years, but the Cary Library actually started in 1960, October 22nd, 1960. The Junior Women's Club decided that town needed a library and they made one. In 1969, the library joined the Wake County Library System and became part of the larger system. And in this building, we've been here since 1977.
Okay. What can you tell me about the number of visitors that come here each day or each month? How about some statistics?
Okay. About 36,000 books got checked out last month in June, and about 24,000 visitors came through our doors. So that's a pretty good number, and of course you can imagine multiplying that out year in and year out.
Right. So you're here almost every day. Why does Cary need a new, bigger library?
Well, we are bursting at the seams. There's not enough parking. Every program we offer, there's not enough room for all the kids and parents that want to attend. We have the tables that people use for studying that are constantly full. Our PCs are in use most of the time. So we just need a little bit more of everything.
And so when the new library is completed, it will be a regional library as opposed to a community library as it is now.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the difference between the two.
All right. In Wake County, we have 3 tiers of library service. We have our regionals, which are our largest libraries, large communities, such as Cary Community, and smaller community libraries. The smaller and large regional community libraries offer service primarily to children. That is our focus for those, just because of the number of staff, the square footage available, things like that. By the time we get to be a regional, we have enough staff, enough space, we have the specialty programming spaces and rooms for meeting rooms that we can offer programs and services for adults as well as children, proctoring, special programs like Get That Job and Device Advice, which are very popular at our regional libraries. And the town of Cary and the county knew that this side of Cary wanted and needed those services. So when we become a regional, we not only grow from 10,000 square feet to about 27,000 square feet, but we add all those extra opportunities for people.
Wow, it sounds like it opens up just a world of possibilities.
It does, yes.
What else can you tell us about the new building?
The building itself will be about 27,000 square feet, part of which is, mostly is 2 stories. There's also a partial basement, which is mostly mechanical room and things like that. But of the 2 stories, the first floor will be primarily children's and the circulation or checkout desk. The second story will be mostly adults and computers. And we'll have all those extra services, the programs. We will have a meeting room that when it's not in use for programs for the library, the community will be able to reserve. So again, a little bit more of everything. And you add to that the fact that there's not enough parking and they're building a parking deck adjacent to us. So that will really add.
Speaking of that parking deck, the project, like we said, includes the new regional library and a 600 space parking deck for use of the busy downtown Cary. What can you tell us about how patrons are reacting to this new addition?
I think they're very excited about the fact that the south end of the downtown area will have more parking. Currently we have both the Cary Library, 2 churches, an inn, the Maiden Inn, and the Arts Center, none of which have enough parking. This 600 spaces will enable us all to do that. Plus they're putting in new businesses all the time downtown. So this will be a destination place. You'll be able to come, park in one place, walk to the park, walk to the library, walk to the breweries and the restaurants and the churches, and do all of these things from that one location.
So you're all very excited.
Yes.
When is the project expected to be complete?
We're hoping for fall of 2019 for a completion date.
So just A little bit over a year
A
away?
little over a year away, absolutely. It can't come fast enough.
In the meantime, if people want to get more information about the project or get updates, where can they go to find that information?
All right, on the library website, which is www.wakegov.com/libraries. If people look for library locations and Cary, there's a lot of great pictures that we've been taking of the construction project. There's some details about the floor plan and what the building will look like. We also have printed off a lot of that same stuff. It's available in a notebook here in the library. People can walk in and ask the staff, and let me tell you, the staff are just thrilled to be able to talk to people about the new facility that's coming.
I bet they really are.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to being back here in 2019 and checking it out.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
The Cary Regional Library wasn't the only exciting groundbreaking event this summer. Here's Carrie McCumber at the site of the new Oak City Multiservices Center.
Thanks, Alice. We are here right now with Anne-Marie Majorano from Wake County Human Services, and we're at the construction site for the new Oak City Center. So welcome, Anne-Marie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Carrie.
So tell us a little bit about the Oak City Center.
Sure. Well, the Oak City Center will be a place where people who are homeless or at risk of being homeless can come and get directly linked to the services that they need in order for them to be housed stably.
Why is it so important that we have this center for Wake County?
So currently there's no one place where people who are homeless can go and get a comprehensive assessment about what they will need or what services and programs they will need to help them transition into permanent housing. People navigate the system on their own, and they might have to make 1, 2, 3 stops before they finally get the service that they need. And so this will help people to get linked to the appropriate service at their first stop. And ultimately, this model will help us reduce the length of time that somebody is homeless.
So what are the kinds of services that will be provided here, and how is this different than sort of a traditional shelter?
The services that will be provided here include basic needs. There'll be a place for people to do their laundry, take a shower, and get mail if they need their mail, because homeless people don't have an address, so it'll be a place where they can use as a mailbox if they need that. They will also get an assessment as to what is preventing them from becoming stably housed and stably integrated into the community. Do they need job training? Do they need mental health care? Do they need substance abuse care? And they will be linked directly to those services. On site, we also will provide medical services, and we will be able to do mental health assessments. And then also people will be directly linked to shelters. There's no overnight here, but they will be directly linked to shelters if they need shelters, or directly connected with a rapid rehousing program.
So right now you're saying somebody who is either homeless or at risk of becoming homeless, they have to go place to place to place to receive all these services?
Yes, they have to go place to place to place to find exactly what matches their need, because different nonprofits provide services to different population groups. They serve different people, and they also provide different services. And so this just eliminates that wayfinding.
So we hear all the time about Wake County. We have great economic development and great schools and great quality of life, but you know, there are a lot of people in our community who are struggling.
Oh yes, so there are many, many families that overpay for their housing. We have well over 1,000 people in the community that are homeless on any given night. Our school systems have children that go to the schools, and they are homeless, and they work with that population also. And so yes, there are many people in this community that are desperately struggling and desperately want to get help, and this center is a place for them to get help.
I know you've been very involved with this project. How excited are you to see it come together like this?
I'm thrilled to see the building. This is the first time that we've been in the building since construction had started. And just to see the steel beams defining the rooms that have just been on a piece of paper before is just so exciting. And I can't wait. The center should be done by February, and we look to start operations in the spring, but this is absolutely fantastic.
And I know it's taken a lot of partnerships to get to this point.
Absolutely. We have a tremendous partner in Catholic Charities in the city of Raleigh. The Partnership to End and Prevent Homelessness has been there with us, and we look to partner with many, many more agencies as we open our doors.
Well, this is very exciting. So Anne Marie, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Cary. It was my pleasure.
So we had the groundbreaking for this project back in June, and we'll show you some of the clips from that exciting event right now.
This is one of these projects where you have the city, the county, nonprofits, faith organizations coming together for the betterment of our community. I'm an old social worker, and there's nothing more disheartening for families who are homeless than to have to tell your story over and over and over again. This building, while it's a building, will have folks in place that will help them tell their story once and receive the services that they will need to help move them away from homelessness.
We don't know if the next county commissioner or the next city councilman or woman or the next mayor will end up being served or touched by this building behind us. We have 2,200 students, children, in the Wake County Public School System right now that may not know where they're going to lay their heads at night. That's why today is so important.
Okay, I'll count. On the count of three. One, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right.
I work elections because it's important to let my community know how important it is to let your voice be heard.
I work elections because working my first election at the age of 17 changed the way I see the political system, and I think it's important to vote, and I like to help other people vote.
I work elections because I wanted to learn more about the electoral process.
I work elections because I wanted to be a part of the process and see how it's all done.
I work the election because I want more young people to be involved in the democratic process.
To learn more about how you can work elections, visit wakegov.com/elections/get-involved.
Everyone knows that fall is a great time of year to host events in North Carolina, and thanks to the Wake County Solid Waste Department, hosting just got a lot easier. Here's Jen with the story.
Thanks, Alice. So we're here today with Bianca Howard from Wake County's Solid Waste Management Division, and she's here to tell us today about this great program that the county now has available for residents. So thanks for having us here today, Bianca. And can you tell us about the program that we have started here now at the county?
We have a new event recycling and bin loan program that makes it easy to divert waste at any event held in Wake County. The way the program works is any Wake County resident can contact us to reserve waste stations. These are easy, portable containers that can be used to capture compostable materials, recyclable materials, and garbage at events.
So any resident can sign up for these. What are some events that they might use them for?
These are really designed to be flexible, so they could be used at almost any size event. Anything from a backyard birthday party, all the way up to a road race or even a wedding. All residents have to do is contact us 2 weeks in advance, and they can follow our guidelines to get an idea of the number of waste stations they'll need to capture waste at their event.
That sounds like a great resource. So you said that these feature a trash bin, a recycling bin, and a composting bin?
That's right. We wanted to have all 3 types of waste containers available for people to be able to maximize the amount of waste they can divert from landfills. And for those people who want to capture compostables, they could take paper plates, napkins, and food scraps to any of our 4 convenience centers that have our special food waste recycling carts.
So where are these convenience centers located?
Well, we have 11 convenience centers total around the county, and right now we have food waste recycling at 4 of them. We have them at Site 7, which is just north of Raleigh. We have food waste carts at Site 8 near Wake Forest. We also have it at Site 10, which is in the Knightdale area. And then finally, we have food waste at Site 4, which is off Yates Mill Pond Road, just south of Raleigh.
So this sounds like a great program and a great resource for residents of the county to use. Why did you guys decide to put together this program?
Well, our outreach staff go to a lot of events and talk to people who enjoy recycling but often don't have the opportunity to recycle at work or when they're doing social things like sporting events with their kids. So we applied for a grant from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, and we're really grateful that the state assisted us with some of the funds for this project. So it's really designed to help people have the flexibility and the capacity to collect waste, even if they're at a place that maybe isn't ordinarily set up for recycling. After some research, our staff chose the Clearstream recyclers because they're very easy to use. They fold flat, they can go in almost any vehicle, and they're equipped with lightweight bags that make it pretty simple to transport the materials. We do have a few rules that we'd like for people to follow when they're bringing us the materials. One of them is to unbag materials for recycling. The containers themselves are used with plastic bags, but we can't accept plastic bags in our collection centers because they tangle up equipment. One good thing is that the composting containers we bought come with compostable bags. So residents who do want to try collecting food waste don't have to unbag that material. They can simply put the entire compostable bag in our food waste carts.
That sounds great. So we're making this as easy as possible for residents really to use these.
We really tried. Another thing I'm excited about is that we'll actually have 3 locations in the county where residents can come to check out the containers. One is our downtown office, but we'll also have containers at the North Wake facility, which is in North Raleigh, and eventually we'll have them at the South Wake facility. That facility is being renovated and will be really easy and accessible for residents who might be in Apex, Holly Springs, or that part of the county.
Great. So how can people go on ahead and reserve their waste station?
We encourage people to visit our website, wakegov.com/event recycling. There they can download a form, request the number of containers, and one of our staff members will get back with them right away. We encourage people to do the form at least 2 weeks in advance of their event to make sure that they'll have containers available. We have 25 containers, but typically people might need far fewer than that for their event.
Right. And you mentioned earlier that staff can help residents figure out what their needs are. Is this something that you would encourage residents use year-round, not just now while we're in the warmer months, but even in the winter months?
Absolutely. And while the fall and spring are a great time to have outdoor events here in North Carolina, these containers could be used indoors as well. So the containers will be available for checkout all year round. The program is just kicking off, but it's something we're committed to for the long term. And we hope that more people will learn about the program, try it out, and tell their friends.
Great. Well, thank you, Bianca, for telling us about this wonderful program. And as we mentioned, if you want to learn more about it, go to wakegov.com/event recycling.
I work elections because it is a privilege and an honor to be a part of the process that helps shape our country and our future for our children.
I work elections because it makes me feel important to be involved in such a wonderful process in the United States.
I work for the Board of Elections because I love to give back to the community and help others.
I love elections because of the community aspect, seeing all your friends and neighbors.
I work elections because I want to encourage other people like me who came from another country to serve this amazing country.
To learn more about how you can work elections, visit wakegov.com/elections/get involved.
We all know about leash laws, but when it comes to choosing the correct harness or collar for your dog, how do you know you're making the right decision? Here's Jen and Dr. Federico to tell you more. Hi, we're here with Dr. Jennifer Federico of the Wake County Animal Center, and we are here today to talk about leashes and collars and just some important tips that you should keep in mind when you are out walking your dog. So thank you, Dr. Federico, for having us here today.
No problem.
One thing that we tend to think a lot about whenever we walk our dogs is picking up after them. You know, always making sure that you have a bag with you to appropriately pick up after them whenever they use the bathroom while you're out walking. We've got some great items here that can really make that easy for pet owners. So can you explain some of these to us?
Sure. So there's a few different things here, but it's all about making it easy and what works best for you and your dog. So some people like to just knot a bag onto their leash. You can't forget it because you're taking your leash. I always recommend at least 2 on here because invariably they'll go twice. And then the second one is when you're like, darn it, I wish I had another bag. But super easy, taking your leash. If you don't like that, some people don't like the noise, it's annoying, or they don't want to have to keep adding to it. All these great little carriers, you can buy them in PetSmart. They have all different styles, sizes, colors, get them to be whatever makes it fun for you. And you can just tie them right onto your leash as well.
So outside of these great items, when you're out walking your dog, are there different types of leashes that work best for different dogs?
Yeah, so a lot of it is depending on your dog and where you're walking. But if you're going to be out in public, you really want to keep your leash to 6 feet long or shorter. Like this lead is a cotton training lead, but it is really long. This is great for if I want to teach my dogs the command come in my backyard or in a field where it's just my dogs. But if I'm walking down the street, they can get way too far away from me, and they can also interfere with somebody else's dog. So you don't want to use this. It has a purpose, it's just not for everyday walking. This we see all over, flexi leashes. Some people really love them. I don't. One, because they can get wrapped around your legs. Your dog can get really far away from you. I've seen large breed dogs actually pop the end off and then go running loose.
Wow.
And small breed dogs, sometimes they get too far away from their owners, so I don't recommend these. What do I like? Standard, old, normal leash. This one, I don't even think this is 6 feet long, it's probably about 4 feet long. And it works well, my dogs can stay at my side, they're close enough that I can have them right near me if someone's trying to pass, especially on a greenway. You have bikers, you have runners, you don't want to be tripping them up. The leash is only half your battle.
Yes.
So when I take my dogs out, all of my dogs have a collar like this. I like these, they're just, a buckle collar. You can have, or this is a snap collar, but you can have a buckle collar as well. Has my dog's tags and rabies tags, so they're always properly identified. However, these usually stay pretty loose on their neck. They get loose over time. And if you attach your leash here, if your dog is scared, they can sometimes pull back out of it. Or if you're pulling them, it can come over their head. So now, what do I walk them in? Well, I don't take this off. They're gonna wear their fun collars, but then there's all sorts of options to go with it. This is a martingale collar, as is this. This is probably my favorite. It's similar to a choke chain because they hear the chain when they pull, but they're not having a chain around their neck being tight. When you put this on, you want to make sure there's about 1.5 inches of chain still there. That's the proper length, so when you pull it up, they can hear it. And they learn not to pull. So this one I really like, but also, if they get scared, they can't get it over their neck, and they can't get away from me, which is really important. This is the same thing, but it doesn't have a chain. This is from Mutt Stuff. She's a volunteer and she makes donations to the shelter. She makes all these collars, but this is just fabric. So if you don't want the chain, you want a little less, this is a great other option. As I mentioned, this is a choke chain. You see people with it because, literally it can choke them. It has its purpose, but used incorrectly, it doesn't accomplish what you want to do. So if you're going to try these, I would say you need to make sure you work with a trainer to make sure you're A, putting it on correctly, B, using it correctly so you're training your dog properly. Not every dog needs this. Another thing we see is people using prong collars. They're usually metal. Again, it's a tool in your toolbox for training. Not every dog needs it. This is a modified prong, it's plastic instead of metal. Again, if you're gonna use things like this, work with a trainer. Make sure you're using them correctly for the safety of your pet. Halties, everyone has seen a dog with this. This goes over their nose. They're usually the dog in the corner going like this because they wanna get it off and they hate it. But it's really good for some dogs because when they have a collar on, you're pulling their whole neck around. This works more like a horse halter where you're controlling their head. If you pull their nose this way, their body's going to follow. Some dogs really hate it, some dogs do great in it. So it's just figuring out what's best for your dog. And finally, this is my absolute favorite harness for a lot of reasons. It's called a freedom harness. You can get it online. It comes in tons of colors, so you can, color coordinate your dog. What I like about it is with dogs that pull, I'm not pulling on their neck, I'm not choking them. It's pulling on their bodies, but I can actually not be pulled over by them and not be dragged. So that is all of your options and my opinions on them. But if you're not sure what your dog's gonna go best in, call a local trainer, get some help.
Well, this has been great information. Thank you so much. For more information on these products and other tips on how to become a responsible pet owner, be sure to visit our website at wakegov.com/pets.
I work elections because I enjoy serving my neighbors. This is the 43rd year that I've been working at this precinct, so obviously I enjoy it and consider it a lot of fun.
I work the election because it is fun. I meet new people. It's a civic duty. It's something that I really love to do, and I've been doing this for many, many years, and it's a great reward, a good feeling. You're helping individuals to work the voting process, and it is great to do that.
I work elections because it's a good way to give back to the community.
I work elections because I feel that voting is an obligation for most people, and I want to be able to expedite that process so that I can make it as easy as possible for them.
To learn more about how you can work elections, visit wakegov.com/elections/get-involved.
Hi, we're here with Tim Maloney, Director of Planning, Development, and Inspections for Wake County, to talk about the new permit portal. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Alice.
So what can you tell us about the permit portal?
The permit portal is a new online mobile-friendly website where builders, contractors, residents can go online and do all their development services here with Wake County, either at their home or at their business.
That's awesome. What kind of things can you do on it?
You can do all kinds of things. Anything related to a permit in Wake County's jurisdiction. You can apply for permits online. You can pay your fees online. You can schedule inspections online. You can go online and find out any information about your permit after logging in and submitting your application.
And how does this differ from the way that residents and contractors used to do business with the county?
Previously, customers, builders, contractors, they would have to come downtown to conduct just about all of their business with us. We did not have any online tools that would make it easier for them. They would have to bring down certain sets of plans for us to review. We would review them by hand, and the customer would have to then come back downtown to retrieve those comments and address them before continuing with the permitting process.
So this sounds really convenient. What are some of the other benefits to the system?
I think the biggest benefit is it's going to be available 24/7 for our customers. They'll be able to find out where their permit is at any point in time, in real time, where it is in the review process, and get any information related to that permit moving forward.
Okay. For residents who don't know, what kind of permits does Wake County issue?
Our development services include anything related to planning and zoning, building permitting and inspections, well or septic, and stormwater reviews. So any of those permits related to those services are available through this new permit portal.
Okay. So when did the permit portal launch, and what should customers be aware of as we transition to this new system?
The permit portal went live on Monday, July 9th. And since that time, we have also been converting data from the old system, permits from the old system, into the new system. So we're asking our customers to be a little patient as that conversion is made and as new permits come in, because not only are they going to learn the new system through the portal, staff is also learning the new system on our end.
So if I'm interested in checking out the permit portal, how do I get started?
Well, you first visit wakegov.com/permit portal. That will take you to our website where you can register, create an account, and then log in. And from there, all your information will be available at your fingertips anywhere, either at your desktop or on your mobile phone.
Great. Sounds like a simple process to get started.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's all for this episode of Wake TV. Keep up with all the latest Wake County news by visiting us online at wakegov.com/news. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube so you can always stay in the loop. We'll see you next time.